Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Gonna start chapter 1 of the campaign.
Meticulous planning, tables, figures, and hard facts.
We'll leave everything just as they are for now. Thank you very much for your recent follow, Fluffy Little Kittens. Very much appreciated.
In 1863, on the banks of the Missouri River, the last chapter in the monumental undertaking of the Transcontinental Railroad began. The workers of the Union Pacific Railroad began laying their tracks westward from Omaha through the wild heart of the North American continent. Massive challenges awaited them. Away from all civilization, the country was vast, the weather ruthless, and the challenges tremendously energy-sapping. But there was a masterstroke of modern engineering to be accomplished, to tame the wilderness and to conquer it with steel, fire, and steam. Never before had anything like this been ventured, but the time was ripe.
Greetings. My name is Thomas Clark Durand. Exactly, the head of Union Pacific. We will go down in history as the ones who created the Transcontinental Railroad. And that, my friend, is your job as chief engineer. I can't supervise everything here on site right now, as I have to meet with some politicians in Washington. First, you should familiarize yourself with the basic controls. Move the camera in all directions. Now test the camera's zoom function. You can also rotate the camera. Give it a try. Very good. Now you know the basic controls. Your first task is to create a rail connection between Omaha and Norfolk to the northwest. Both cities will need a station for this. You already have a station in Omaha, but you still need to build one in Norfolk. To do this, switch to building construction mode.
Good evening, Sugar Rush. Hope you're doing well this evening.
Very good. Now the two stations need to be connected with tracks. To do this, switch to track construction mode. Now plan the tracks between the stations in Norfolk and Omaha. To do this, select the two station tracks one after the other. Then pay for your track planning.
All good here. We've just been testing this out. Right, let's build that route.
Now create your first train, so that you can set up a rail line between your stations. Initially, your train only exists on paper. It's not much use to you without a locomotive.
Right, our new locomotive. A 6-0.
Additionally, each train needs a rail line that passes through all the stations it should stop at. Now join your two stations to the rail line by selecting them one after the other. That's enough for your first rail line. Now confirm it so it becomes active. Very good. Now you can see the journey your train will take. If there is something to transport, the train will automatically take it.
If anybody does have any questions about this game, then do ask away. I'll try my best and answer them.
However, as each locomotive needs water, sand, and lubricant on its journey, you have to place a supply tower along the route. Very good. Your train is now traveling between Omaha and Norfolk. But you can do even more. Each city needs goods from the surrounding area. For example, every city needs corn. Look, there is a corn farm near Omaha. Until now, the corn has made it to the city in the conventional way, but we want to change that. Now construct a rural train station in the marked location with a corn farm within its radius. Now connect the new rural train station to the station in Omaha.
If anybody's thinking I've seen this game before, it's been released on PC and Xbox and PS4 for a while, but only just today has it been released on the Nintendo Switch. We're playing here.
And now things are getting tricky as we have to deal with a logistical problem. As Norfolk should also enjoy fresh corn, there will soon be 2 trains traveling on the stretch of track between Omaha and Norfolk. Of course, this will then result in a conflict. Since trains cannot travel through each other, you'll need a side track between Omaha and Norfolk. This consists of 1 parallel track and 2 signals. First, create a side track. It needs to be at least long enough for a fully loaded train.
Right, let's create adding a passing loop for everybody to pass around. Go.
Excellent. However, your trains won't necessarily use the sidetrack, as they generally always take the shortest route. For this reason, you also have to specify the direction of travel on each parallel track. Now open Building Construction mode and set up a signal in the highlighted area pointing in the direction of the switch. Trains will then be able to stop here when the single track is in use. Excellent. Now do the same on the parallel track so that each parallel track has a different direction. Place a second signal in the highlighted area and block the track to trains coming from the opposite direction. Very good. I'm sure that wasn't at all easy. You will soon come to realize that signals are an important aid in guaranteeing smooth rail operations. You will find more information and tips under Hints and Tips.
Obviously, for us people in the
Now
UK,
assemble a new
it's the wrong
train
way,
and
but
give it a
ignore that.
locomotive and a rail line. Your new rail line should run via Omaha to Norfolk so that the people of Norfolk can be supplied with corn.
Train. 60. Make a new line.
Excellent. The corn farm will automatically make use of your train because the cities along your rail line are demanding corn. Conventional transportation is much more costly for the farm. We are still missing something. Locomotives wear out over time and need to be regularly maintained so they can perform their duties more reliably. For this purpose, there needs to be at least 1 maintenance building on each rail line where locomotives can be serviced if necessary. Construct such a maintenance building at your station in Omaha now. To do this, select the station itself and expand the station with this building.
80,000 for a maintenance shed.
Right. We've been lollygagging for long enough. I need to return to Washington for further miserable negotiations with our representatives of the people. I've written a task list for you. Take a look at it and complete the tasks within the given time period. Do not disappoint me.
Harsh words, but we'll try and meet it. So, to access the task list. Go. So, by 1864 we have to connect Omaha with North Platte and Cheyenne. Get on with that straight away, I think. Our signalling looks to be working well here. This should now go green, yeah, which it has. Right, so connect to North Platte first with Norfolk. Build a train station here. Tracking. Connect that up to Norfolk. Happy with that? Yeah, good to me.
Good. That's finished. You're making progress.
So we need some passing loops and signals. Yes, you can have bigger stations. You can buy them if you got the money. So you got small train station, which is 2 platforms, or large, which is 4. Or alternatively, you can head over to the station, click that, and then expand your station. So, get in with building some passing loops. We might double track this later on, but for now we can just have some passing loop. And also build in our supply tower here. Then we need some signals. Then we can go ahead and buy some another new train. Go from Omaha to Platte. Got that one there. With a button I can't remember. Go, add them back in. So we've got awaiting track clearance. So we need to put in some signals here. We've now got multiple trains. In a signal, trains coming from that direction. Stop signal there. That one's now filling up. That one's off to Norfolk. We also need one here. Got trains coming in if the platforms. I think what we'll next do. Connect North Platte and new track again. First we need to build a station. Do first. And we can add in a track. That coupled in first. And then we can, with A, we can change how it looks. The A button, so drag it around here. Fairly straight run. That looks alright to me. Get that built.
Those politicians in Washington get on one's nerves. But now let's get back to your tasks. As you can see, Cheyenne is still a little town hoping for an upswing caused by the railroad connection, but a city will only attract new inhabitants if it is supplied with enough goods. Cities receive basic goods from the surrounding area. If you construct stations in the right places and establish rail lines, your trains will be used to transport goods and you will make profits for transportation. But for this, you have to know what goods a city actually needs. You can find out any city's current needs. Now select Cheyenne and view the city's demand for goods.
So let's see what Cheyenne needs. Town information. And then press Y.
As you can see, Cheyenne currently needs only a handful of goods, and you can only deliver goods that are in demand. As the city grows, it will demand further goods. At the moment, you can supply grain and wood. Both of these goods are available to the north of Cheyenne.
So one thing I've learnt just recently is if you press down the ZL button, it'll explain what all of these mean. It isn't in any manual, so something useful to know.
Connect Cheyenne to a timber business and a wheat farm and establish a new rail line that connects them both to Cheyenne.
So another thing you can do as well is, as the trains get bigger, the bigger the radius area it covers. So if you get a big station, you can cover both of these in one. Saves a lot of signalling. Fluffy little kittens, we have the switch plugged into its TV dock, which then goes into the Elgato streaming device, and then the Elgato streaming device is then plugged into the streaming PC. So we'll get a few lines running here. Yeah, there's quite a lot of wires around, but definitely enjoyable to play. Oops, that button to press there. We need to take this down to Cheyenne. Plug into the network here. Build that route. So now that's connected. Going to upgrade this station. You have to stick around to find out calamity. If we upgrade the small station, firstly construct a maintenance building for these locomotives. These newspapers pop up to tell you you've reached a goal. Then we can also upgrade we'll have 2 stations. So back here we can add in some new track for this. Yeah. Build that. Demolish this section of track. Then helps with signalling. That platform there is dedicated to the traffic coming up. So I think we'll get a new train going. Add our 060. Take a rail line from Brown Prison. Okay.
Well done. The city will soon grow. You can see how well it is being supplied at any time in the city dialogue. Basically, a city will grow once its demands are sufficiently met. I think you have learned enough. Complete the rest of your tasks.
So this train's waiting for track clearance for some. Not sure how you set in that mode. There we go, you can see what it's like at dark night. Not quite sure how you'd slow the time down again. They're shifting rather quickly there. How is that for everybody watching? Is that too dark? Would you like me to turn night mode off? Wondering how you turn the time down. Option. There we are. Turn game speed down. But not sure how that managed to speed up. Wasn't like that earlier, but. And if you're coming from Xbox or PS4 and you're wondering how you'll get over the new controller layout, you can switch your A and B buttons around. So they're different on a Switch. It's dark, so we'll turn that back off. Turn that off there. Oh. Like our trains are running well. Had a random breakdown, but that's back on its way again. Back over well.
Yes, one more thing. Your company has also a research department to help you unlock new locomotives and other innovations. Open the research dialogue to find out more about it.
So we can open the research, so you press X to shift and then access.
Here you will find the advances that can be achieved in the current era. Advances from previous eras are usually already active, but what the future holds, we do not know. For each advance, you require innovation points, which you get automatically each month, and which can be increased in various ways. Now, take a look around here, and then unlock an innovation of your choosing. How about a new locomotive?
So let's unlock the express train technology.
My opponents say I'm lining my own pockets. These are, of course, hideous lies. And look at it this way. With the profits I'm making, I can invest much more. Jobs, jobs, jobs.
And while we're here, we'll unlock the caboose technology.
I have to wrangle with a lot of competitors, but if one person really gets on my nerves, then it's that Beatrix von Pomp. What? You haven't encountered her yet? Be glad. She takes everyone to the cleaners.
Right, now we've connected them up. We will set another train going from Omaha to Cheyenne. Add as locomotive in. We'll also, while we're here, now we've got the technology, we'll add in a caboose.
Excellent. Cheyenne is becoming a major railroad hub, and the credit is all ours.
Go. That should start running. Now we obviously need a passing loop between these two stations. We had that in before. Don't think we did. No, we did. We'll build that in next. Again, later in the game I think we'll double track this. For now we will set the signals and passing places up instead to save money. Add in a fly tower. Right, now we've got the slower. So this is going slowly because it's not got water, so we need a supply tower over here as well. One over here for... Right, let's ride along. So we're going to stop here for water. It should help us go a little bit quicker. We're wood powered at this moment in history, rather than coal. Green signal. Oh yeah, you can see we're going slightly faster than what we were before. Now we've got enough water. You can switch sides, and you have control position. And then that you have either cab side or on top. Look back. Can't go all the way around, unfortunately. To the cab side. Could be coming up towards the main line. Just here. Station we come. you can also whistle if you so wish. Very nice indeed. Right, let's check our tasks. We've connected Omaha in North Platte and Omaha in Cheyenne. For about 1866 we need to deliver 16 loads of cattle to Denver and 16 loads of meat to Cheyenne. And our third bonus task is connect 150,000 people on your rail network. We've also reached a population of 30,000 in Cheyenne, so that's also good. But I think next we will connect Denver, which is just over here. The rail line. And we also need to get meat from the ranch over here. If anybody's just joining us, we're having a play on Railway Empire for Nintendo Switch. Just come out today. Now we've connected that, we can bring it in track. So we'll bring in the Denver track to this main line. Get that route built. Leave the bonus. This needs some signalling on. Need one here to tell them can't go if there's another train, and we also need one here. And we also need one here to say somebody already down here not to go. Faster here. Go. So back down here, Denver and the cattle ranch. Yeah, so once again we've got two quite close together, so if we build a large train station we can do 2 in 1. That there. Next stop is to build a track. Go. So get that built. So let's get a new train in. Add as locomotive. Caboose. Add the rail line between here. I am. That running. We'll ride along on this one. Select and spin right along. We can get these joined up here in a later date. Denver. So we're doing 26 miles an hour. Evening, Joseph. Hope you're doing well this evening. Coming up to Denver now to drop our cattle off. First injectors open. Drop us cattle off here. Be able to pick up some meat or other items. Yup, loading up. So, different locals come when you open them up in the research tab. I'll show you when you get to Cheyenne how we can put different locals. They also have different parts of the locals, whether it's freight or passengers or mixed. One of his bridges. Right, we should be coming up to our signalling in a minute. Either we'll get to go straight through or I'll have to stop. Train. The green signalling. Can't sit up and grab trains all day. We'll get on to some tasks next. Right, so that's made it to Cheyenne, okay. Right, so as I was saying, if you go into the research tab, you have enough research tokens. You have 200. You can unlock the Tyson 10-wheeler. We unlock that, and then go to add a new train. Now have 2 engines. So the more innovation points you get, the more trains you can unlock, and different passenger things like a panoramic coach, for example. Right, tasks. We're on with the 16 loads of meat and cattle. We're also fast heading towards 150,000 people on the network. Our next job is to connect Cheyenne and Omaha. No. Cheyenne and Rock Springs. All the way down here. Big old line. If we build a New station. Go with a dual tracked station. Then we begin. Quickly just connect Cheyenne. We can edit the route in a minute. I think we'll actually park that there for a minute. Oh, there's plenty of locals, plenty of carriages, lots of gameplay in this one. So that's going to cost 1.2 million, so that's money we don't have at the minute. So we'll move this around here for a start. That's also impeding on this land. A bit later in the game. That bit's happy, and it's come down to 300 million now. 300,000. Move it around that mountain, and that's happy enough. Got it down to 106. I'll build that line in, and I think, as it's a long way, at some point we'll have to double track that. Won't have quite the money in it, I don't think. We can try. Don't quite have the money, but if we, while we're here, we can upgrade the train station to be a 4-track and add in track into that. The far right ones aren't being used.
Do you know that many people call the vast stretch of land between the Mississippi and California the Great American Desert? Those fools. Once my railroad has opened everything up, the value of these lands will go through the roof.
So we can...
Now you've managed to cross the Great Plains. A masterpiece.
While we're here, we can make these two, go into these two platforms. And out this end, and join these two up. Means trains can then begin running between I'll leave that one just for now. So I don't get too confused. So we can start running a passenger service now between Cheyenne and Rock Springs without stopping, so no stops in between. If we buy a new locomotive, we've got 9 stations currently connected. At a locomotive, we will use the Tyson 10 wheeler for this one, once we have just a little bit more. So we've got a bonus over here if we connected some. Not even going to try and pronounce that. Cheetah. Got that wrong, I do apologise. Right. Almost got enough for a new locomotive. There we go. New train. Add the Tyson 10 wheeler. And then manage train, not that one, rail line, route options. Now in testing we actually couldn't get this one to work, but we realised we had to set the loading to passengers and mail only, this one, otherwise it'd be all for it. We then set Cheyenne to Rock Springs. That should then fill up with passengers that we need. Granted only one set for now, but so we're a bit short on cash at the minute, but we're opening new lines. Yep, so this is also one of the bugs we found. It says we need a supply tower, but we already have one. Not a big problem, but one of them we've noticed. This is telling us that this needs to be increased for a bigger locomotive because of the gradients. So let's go and check on progress of our passenger train. In good progress. Now obviously we could add in a supply tower to make sure it's... Now if it has to stop here at the supply tower, then this isn't classed as a stop. Looks like it didn't need to stop. It's straight through to Rock Springs. Could also add in a passing loop to get a few more trains running on this line. We don't quite have the money to double track the entire thing. So with that, put in some signals. Go. Just about afford another train. Add in the Tyson 10-wheeler. We'll set this freight this one. Create a line between and Rock Springs. Our first train's just arriving in. So once it's stopped, we can check his task list. 23 people have now been transported, so that's good. Now there isn't many people. That hasn't gone up as the Denver meet for some reason. Exclamation mark. So we need to add in a construction for this when we have the money. But it's moving slower than it should do. They need maintenance. We do have a... We have a supply tower? Oh, I don't think we do. Can definitely add that in. About. we've done that, so I can remove that. On water. Apart from that, we are on track. No pun intended. And also, although not part of the tasks, add in some cotton on it. If you're just joining us, we're playing Railway Empire on the Switch. Been released today. Right, how are we doing on the tasks? Still just 23 transported. We are waiting for we are waiting for this train to come back. Our meat trains coming in. So that's now arrived back. These passengers won't count because they're going in the wrong direction. Gotta wait for that train to go back. You can see our loads of meat have gone up to 14. Still on 7 cattle to Denver. Got a bit more money now. Could invest in another train for this line. Have a straight here for a passing loop. That in. And the signalling with it. So let's buy a new train. Choose this one because it's on for freight. Routing wrong way around here. Yeah. Save that. Should mean the train starts running. How are we doing for the tasks? Still 23, but I think clear somewhere. It is. Yeah, we're enjoying it on the Switch. Nice to sit back with a controller and just play it. Nice and easy to get the hang of anyway. While that's taking on some water. Actually also need signalling in for it's clear or not. No. Stop signal. Friend. Train's already waiting. The trains are coming back from Rock Springs for the Quick, which is interesting because that's not set to passengers and is carrying all passengers. I think we have the money to add in another train. Let's add in Boost. Set that to go from here. Save that. Where is our loop? Here's our loop, so if we make another loop here. Adding that, and we can set our signalling. That there, and then could help bring in some more Brothers Town over in Rock Springs. So we have now transported 46 of our people. Good progress there. All cattle, so that should help bring in the cattle to Denver. Got the green signal. Let's get that loaded. Oh, it's never ending, is this game? Always something to do. A bit like Transport Fever 2, but for the Switch. And you can take it anywhere you want. So, that's helped bring up our cattle to 15. So, these two are almost complete. About halfway on our other objective. So this is now taking meat, so that'll complete that one. What are we doing over here? goods. Passengers are coming back. Fine at the minute. 2 there. 1 is in. 1's here, so that's going to wait, I assume. You're not. You're gonna wait here, aren't you? You're gonna be held here. Here it comes. You're one car of passengers, some freight, mail, and you've definitely got some passengers there. Another freight with 1 passenger carriage on. So this task needs to be done by in 4 years' time. Plenty of time still. Let that go on. Get how this is going. Racing into the station. Oh, I think I'm gonna put this. Oh, wasn't it?
Cheyenne will flourish thanks to you.
3 trains in there.
For each mile of track that we lay, we receive 10 square miles of land. The politicians have no idea of the value of the assets they're giving away, but that stays between us.
It looks like we've got a bonus here to join up Casper. May as well. Building our track. Building a station for Casper. Complete the track. Go. Then fished. Added in a passing loop. Rivets. Thing. And in fact, I've never seen that. Wants to go between them two. Throwing these back in. get this bit right. Build route, and then we'll be able to go and edit our route over here. Select train, rail line, and add in Cheyenne. Help. So how are we doing on our tasks? We've done 65 out of our 100 passengers non-stop. We've completed our 16 loads of meat to Cheyenne. We are 1 cattle away from completing cattle to Denver. So where is our train? So what are you waiting for? You're waiting for Kelly Ranch to Denver. In there. Where are you? Ah, so you're just coming back in. If you're just joining us, we're on Railway Empire on the Nintendo Switch, which has been released today. The problems anyway. You're needing let's add in a well, let's get that out and also join in it. Build that in. So both of these are needing. So we are needing some signals in here. Yeah. And we can, once we've got a few more pounds, and buy some locomotives to run to these. How are we doing on this task? Still only 1 cattle away. Now running Ellie. Our yeah. For some reason, we're carrying B. Not quite sure where this train driver's got beer from a cattle ranch, but we shall go with it. But hopefully this one's going to pick up some cattle. What are you? Let's get rid of you. What are you? You're getting cattle, so that's good. Let the beer roll on by. Right, so now we've got the rear line there, we can a few more pounds, we can add in an industry. Run here, had a failure, a random breakdown. That should fix itself. Parked in the loop or parked in the... So we've got some passengers waiting here. So hopefully this will get on the move soon. See if we can hire some people. And we're doing well. The value is growing. Let them track. We'll connect in. Oh, I got a few more dollars. Correct. Almost train station. That's built. Can introduce track. Build up to there. Build that. No source. Yeah, hopefully. Get that into, yeah. Ideally, do with it coming after the loop. Build that in there and then build a crossover. Can't end badly, but we'll go with it for now. Put in the other crossover there. This can now run between these two stations. There are more money first. What we're doing on his tasks. Got 69 people now transported. What are we doing on his meat? So the meat is now waiting for... Get that back up to 100% so it can speed up a little bit. Right, so me back in. Need some signalling in here. So I need some here. Right, so we got some money. We can put in a new train. There and there. Can also afford a train. Between Rat Estate and Springs. Oh, all of this works out just fine. That's got to stop because that shouldn't work.
Progress is enormous. The Far West is no longer so far away anymore, and the people are slowly realizing that trade helps create prospering cities. We still have a long way to go, but the Transcontinental Railroad is coming.
Right, so
In spite of all the challenges, the Union Pacific Railroad managed to cross the endless expanses of the Great Plains and conquer the merciless slopes of the Rocky Mountains. The Central Pacific Railroad approached from the west, but the winter of 1868 brought all work to a standstill. The two lines lay just a few hundred miles across from each other, in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. The dream of the first transcontinental railroad seemed to be within touching distance, but was buried by house-high masses of snow and blown away by icy snowstorms, a dream that had begun almost 4 decades before.
right, that's chapter 1 complete, and that brings us to the end of this stream. We'll continue chapter 2, start chapter 2 in another stream. So today I'm going to raid a friend of mine, Fallen Pacific, so don't forget to give her a follow if you enjoy her content. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you soon.